So I drew this picture over a year ago, I think, well, maybe not over a year, but in 2022. And I told myself that I couldn't post it without recording a voiceover because that was something I really wanted to do, and it's particularly because I've actually redrawn this picture once before on my channel back a few years ago, and I even said in the description that I wanted to record a voiceover, but I didn't because I ran out of time, and I'm not really sure what that was based on because I didn't have any particular time constraints. There wasn't any kind of sponsor on there. But the fact of the matter is that I just didn't record it, just because recording my voice just takes a lot of time and energy, and I spent a lot of time thinking about how I had to sound like excited, or I had to come prepared with some big philosophical idea, and it's just, it's all roadblocks in the end, right? It's just things that I told myself I had to do when literally no one was telling me that I had to do that. And in all my other videos, I speed up my voice by like 3% to make it seem slightly higher and livelier. And so I'm going to try not to do that now, and I'm going to try to keep myself from editing out too many breaths and noise and pauses, and just talk for, I believe, approximately half an hour. So I'm not sure how many people this will appeal to, but here we go. The idea that I sort of envisioned talking about this whole time was basically the perception of success and failure in one's artistic career, because there are so many things that I want to do, and so many things that I imagine myself doing, and so many things that I have done, and I feel like I haven't fully appreciated the fact that I've done them. Every time there's sort of a lull in what I'm doing, I find myself wishing that I did more with this channel, because I went to school for animation. I really enjoy making animatics. I really enjoy creating, all those Heather's animatics I did. I like putting images to sounds and matching the time and editing them together. But those take a lot of energy for one, and for two, obviously I am more inspired to create those animatics based on copyrighted music, which YouTube obviously immediately has no interest in letting me get any share of that. I think the only I don't get I think the Meant to Be Yours video has 12 million views at this point, but I was only getting paid for maybe about 100,000 of those views before it got flagged, and basically it's not financially feasible because they take a long time and then I don't make any money. But it's the kind of thing where that was another reason why I wanted to make this, because after that, every other video I was making, it was just for, a little sponsorship or review slot. And even now, you'll see coming up, whoever listens to this, there'll be 3 videos I have to make where I sort of just include Vograce, because I like working with them, and they've been good to me and everything in helping me with coupons to buy more merchandise. But it's the fact that I only am able to take the time to create things on YouTube to appease some sort of financial / self-promotion end, as opposed to back in 2017 where it was just so much raw, hyper-focused passion at the time. And I really wish that I had the financial means to go back to that. Like, there's just a lot of, there's a lot of things that I want to do, but but I can't say that my career has been a failure by any means, because I've been extremely fortunate in having the job that I had at Webtoon and able to create Muted and able to work with my wife on Lovebot, and being able to have so many people who genuinely enjoy and support my work in a way that is so rare and so amazing for me to be able to do. But I could only create Muted because I was getting paid for it. And just and it's just, I don't know, it's a complicated feeling. I'm pretty sure we're all at the point now where we understand how shitty capitalism is and how it would be nicer if we could all just, have the whole universal basic income thing. But I don't want to get into that too much, I don't think. I also have one eye on the stove, because I have a pizza cooking, so I'll probably get cut off in a brief moment to check on that. But yeah, I'm trying to put myself back in the headspace, just as far as reflecting on what my career as an artist has done, because back in 2011, when I originally drew the first picture this is based on, I had just graduated from college, and I didn't have any real kind of job. I think I'm trying to remember exactly where I was. I don't know if I was working at the call center or I had just started to do freelance. I'm not sure. But obviously where I am now compared to then is leaps and bounds. But I don't know. It's just hard. Discovering and learning a lot about myself over the last 12 years, because the original was done in 2011. I was much less burnt out, I guess. I feel like I'm dealing with a burnout that has come on from a very, very long time. But it's hard because I feel myself still desiring to work. I'm just so tired. And it's hard to say if I'm just tired from the mental health aspect, I'm tired from the financial aspect, or I'm tired because our pipes burst in June and our house still isn't fully repaired. It was even as I'm recording this today, we were supposed to finally get our cabinets in. Oh, and there's the minute marker. We're supposed to get our cabinets in, and apparently some of them are just missing. And so while I say that I'm making a pizza, which is true, it's just the stove free floating in the middle of the kitchen. But even then, since I feel shitty talking, or I shouldn't curse, I feel bad talking about, just because my ability to own a home is already what people would consider, that's it, that's the success. And yeah, I'm extremely fortunate. I don't even know where I'm going with this anymore. I guess I should have planned this out a bit more, or I just didn't fully understand how long 30 minutes was. How do people have podcasts? Oh, no, 1 second. Okay, I'm back. But seriously, I don't understand how people have podcasts. I suppose when you get used to talking to yourself after a period of time, I can imagine myself having a podcast with Chase or one of my other friends and just like being able to talk back and forth, but just like trying to come up with what to say and what to talk about on my own. It all just it's just, I don't know if any of this is engaging in any capacity. I'm sure it's probably not. I think I really doubt that anyone's actually going to watch this, and if they do, probably not with the sound on. But it's, sorry, I got distracted watching how I was working so hard to get her chest right in this picture. I really struggled with that for a while, and I don't even know why. The chests are difficult for me sometimes, but yeah, just like having to spiral into my own thoughts. Let me start over. I totally lost my train. I lost where I was. Yeah, so I'm mostly making this for myself, just to do it, just to have one video on my channel for the first time in like a year that is what I said it was going to be, where I actually talk over it instead of just saying that I need to post it with some random music arbitrarily. I'm going to actually get it done, and so that I can say that I get it done, because that's what's most important in the end, is the fact that I got it done. That's what I'm going to be telling myself. And so thank you to whoever actually ends up listening to this. This picture still holds up pretty well after 2 years. I guess I'll talk more about myself, because again, I don't really expect many of you to be listening, but a few years ago, well, it was a struggle for about 4 years or so, where I was like, I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, and it took so long. It took such a long time to find someone who would actually like listen to me and actually like give me like a test. It was actually like pretty draining to find someone who would even talk to me, because at the time when I initially started looking for it, I was like, I don't want medication, I don't want anything, I just want to know what's wrong with me. I know that there's something going on in there. I know it doesn't feel right. I feel like this isn't how things are supposed to be, and I relate to all of these things, and I just want someone officially to tell me whether or not I'm right, or if it's just all in my head or whatever. And so I finally found someone who would actually give me a test, because like one person was just like, well, like, you can pay to have a test, but we don't give medication to adults. And I'm just like, I'm like, why do you have to be so mean about it? And so then I tried calling someone else. I'm like, oh, we don't do tests for adults anymore, but you can call this place, which is the place that I had just called. And I was like, cool. And so like literally it took 4 years to find someone who would actually like listen to me, and like not even listen to me, just like give me the chance to like actually talk about my symptoms and my experience without assuming things about me. Because like one other person I had found was just like, I don't think you have ADHD because you can speak in full sentences. And I'm like, what the heck is that supposed to mean? That's so, you're like, she was supposed to be like a specialist, and I was like, are you serious right now? And I was like, you have no idea, like, you've talked to me once, you won't like think that I have this problem, but you'll like after meeting me once, but you'll diagnose me with some other problem, which also was just a symptom of the ADHD. But anyway, so it wasn't until 2021 when I was officially diagnosed, and I actually did end up on Adderall and was surprised by the difference, which is funny now considering the national Adderall shortage, and I haven't had it in like 2 months. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe that's why things feel so hard right now. But I feel like I got to the point where I was able to like fully embrace my needs, or like fully understand not my limits, just accept allowing myself to learn how to say no to more things. A majority of my life I've basically said yes to pretty much everything, and that gets exhausting after a while, and so just not even so much the medication thing, but just being able to learn more about myself and having a support system that gives me the space to be myself without being judged, and just allowing myself to have more rest, I think has been good. But then it's like the other side of it, where even though I know taking all this rest is good, there's just so many things that have to get done, like I can't rest. I can't go into the woods and sleep for a month just to recover some energy, maybe, because we got bills to pay, and we're about to go. I hesitate to say vacation, but like going to visit family in Montana in a couple weeks, and there's just like so much stuff that I need to do before we go to do that, and it's I don't know. I lost my train of thought again. But I'm gonna do it. I'm 17 minutes. I'm halfway there officially, so I'm going to power through with my intentions of fully doing a voiceover on this picture, so that I can say that it's done. And then I'm going to have to remake my little list of patrons at the end, because there's very, very thankfully a lot of you, but I had made that list in 2022, and obviously a lot of people have come and gone since then, so the list is different, so I need to remake it, and that's fine. It's just names, but it's just a lot easier when I don't have to talk, and I think that's something I need to, I don't know if I have to get over it, or if I just have to learn a better way to deal with it, because I always think that it would be fun to stream more, or it would be fun to like record videos like of myself, like as like an actual person talking, but it's hard for me to find the energy to speak. Like talking it takes a lot of energy to talk, especially just to like myself. Like there are some people that I can talk to for hours, but like just talking point blank into a microphone isn't really what I have in mind. And like so many of my friends are so wonderfully charismatic and just like able to chat and hang out, and stream and do stuff, and I admire all of my friends, but my friends who have that skill, I particularly admire, because I don't know how they manage to do that. And even, I'm just even listening to myself, the longer I talk, just like the more like gravelly my voice starts to get. It's just, I don't know why. But anyway, like I said, so there's gonna be this video which I'll be happy to get out without having to worry about any self-promotion or anything, or having to record any videos or anything, or like plan any scripts, and just to be able to just talk, I think is good for me. Even though I know that, this is sorry, that was my chair squeaking. This isn't really what people come to my channel for, but I don't think anyone really expects much of my channel, I guess. That's not the right thing to say. It's like, I don't know. It's complicated. I want to do still the Leave Luann animatic very much, but that's going to take a lot. But I think it's the same problem I had with the Meant to Be Yours animatic, where I just really, or even with this, where I just psych myself out about it. And I'm like, no, I can't do it unless it's perfect. I can't do it unless it looks exactly like this, this, and this. And and it really just, people, when they watch your stuff, they're not going to be able to tell, all the little things that you wish that you could have done, or they're just going to be excited that it's there. Because in my head I am envisioning, it's because if you look at all the animatics that I did, from the very first one to the Meant to Be Yours one, it's there's a very clear progression of detail in each panel. And it's and there's part of my brain where it's well, you can't go back to it being super sketchy like you had originally. But it's but at this point, it's I should I should. If that's what means that it gets done, then I should just post it as a super sketchy thing. If that's what it means for it to be completed, then that's what I should do. And, it drives me kind of crazy to know that it's just hard. And I don't even know why. Well, I know why. It's, everything. But, there's just a lot that I want to do. And I guess this is kind of, the emotional, most of the podcast. I don't really listen to many podcasts, but it's mostly Sad Boys with Jordan and Jarvis, and Not For Everyone with Caroline and Jess, and where they just talk about stuff, and they can talk about their emotions and feelings. And so pretend you're my co-host and you're just listening to me ramble on vaguely about my feelings. Yeah, so I guess that's just what's been on my mind lately, bringing it back around to whatever the heck I said 10 minutes ago. Is that, success and failure is sort of an arbitrary illusion. By all accounts, I've been / am successful in what I'm doing, but just some part of my brain that just says, well, you need to keep doing more. You can't, because if you settle, then it'll all fall apart, or if you settle, then it just isn't enough, or whatever. And I don't know. It's hard to fight your brain in that capacity, but doing anything is such a gift to yourself. To be able to actually sit down and create anything is such a rare and powerful gift. And I'm speaking more to you if you're and someone who wants to be an artist, that you should give yourself as much patience as you can and try to not weigh yourself down with expectations, but try to be excited about possibilities. Let me see if I could phrase that differently. Be like, just the act of creating is such a beautiful thing. Like, even if you don't get many notes or reblogs or retweets or blah 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 blah, and I get it. It sucks whenever you're like, I need to make money off of this, and you do something with the intent of making money off of it, and no one pays attention. Then it's frustrating. But it's like, but still, just like to be able to create, be like, this exists in the world now because I decided I wanted it to exist in the world, and I did that with my own 2 hands and my brain or whatever. And the amount of time that I carved out of the limited amount of time that I'll have in this world, I was able to accomplish this. And I think that's a cool thing, even if I get down on myself a lot for thinking that I could or should do more. I am really proud of the things that I have done. But speaking on a lighter note about good things, whether or not this channel will end up taking off with more animatics in the future or not, I guess it depends. Self-promotion. The more money I have on Patreon, the less I have to do everything else, so, you know. Yeah. Get on that. No. Oh wow, I totally am. 27 minutes? God, I'm so close to the end. But, but I got an agent. That's where I was going with this. I got it took a few months, but I was finally able to find an agent who's super sweet, and ideally we'll be able to find someone who is interested in printing Muted as a full book. And then I've also been spending some time working as a comic layout designer for a couple of friends on their webtoons that are being published, and I find that a really engaging and rewarding thing to do. It's like a little puzzle that I could put together, but the unfortunate side is that I'm not able to like show anyone as I'm working on it, or even like really fully announce it anywhere. Maybe when one of them comes out, I'll try to like show it, like, you know, and like hype them up so you can buy it. I won't get any like residuals for just formatting it, but I think you should buy them anyway, just because obviously I want my friends to make money. What else am I doing? Lovebot obviously is still getting worked on. Chase and I have talked about another story that we want to do, but we haven't delved in too much into it just because there's a lot going on, and you know, we don't even fully have a kitchen right now, so so it's kind of taken a back seat. Maybe I'll slap in some sketches that I drew recently for that, but oh shoot, I only have 4 minutes left to talk, and I'm struggling. Ooh. What can I talk about for 4 more minutes? Maybe I should pause again and come back. Also, if you've come this far, but you haven't actually watched Princess Tutu, you should absolutely go and find Princess Tutu. I think it's on Hulu, if you don't have Hulu. Well, like, obviously, and then you can find it somewhere else for free, I'm sure. But I would definitely recommend it. It is very good, very pretty, very emotional, and I have to sneeze. No, never mind, it's gone. Yeah, so go easy on yourself. Try to appreciate your victories as they come and not get too down about yourself whenever you perceive something as a failure. Because life keeps going, and you keep creating, and different things change. You never know. Like, I'm turning 33 this year, which is a weird thing to say. When I first posted an animatic on YouTube, I was 26, 27. That's weird to think about. And that's the other thing. Like, I posted like on TikTok, like a clip of one of those animatics, and someone's just like, "Oh my god, like I grew up with you, like you're those animatics from my childhood," and I'm like, "What?" And it's like, yeah, if you watched that when you were like 15, you'd be a whole adult now, and that's weird. I gotta admit, it's weird to think about. It's weird to think about in regards to Muted too. It's like, the idea that anything that I create could impact people in that way is extremely cool and extremely scary. Oh, and back on my other thing on my list, I totally forgot. With my agent, I'm also working on putting together a pitch for a new graphic novel called Lydia Gray, which will be set in Montana, which is where I was born originally, and just, have a big fondness for the whole big mountains and the sort of, big sky country, the whole openness of it all. And I think it's just a place where not a lot of stuff is set, but it's going to be a horror? Maybe more of a thriller, but, well, it's like a ghost story. A haunted house kind of story. But I'm really excited about that, and maybe I'll toss up a couple of images here, or not. My goal here is to just talk for 2 more minutes, and then I'll consider that a victory. And whether or not I actually add any additional editing, then that's not my business. But so there's a lot of stuff in the works, and I wish YouTube was higher on that list of priorities, but unfortunately at the moment it's not. I mean, I hope eventually that will change, but if it doesn't, I appreciate all of you for sticking around and for giving me the opportunity to create on here, because I do really think it's a cool platform to just like a lot of inspiration to be found here for sure. So yeah, if you've been here sat through this for half an hour, love you and appreciate you. Maybe check out my other stuff if you're interested. And I have less than a minute left to go, and I have nothing left to say. But yeah. Take care, everybody. See you later. Oh no, I stop recording. Okay, goodbye. Have a good day. Mwah.